This is a review of the Satechi LightMate emergency LED flashlight with a USB port and rechargeable battery. This flashlight comes in a nice gift box. It's packaged nicely, and I'll go over the details in a second. Okay, you're going on a long trip. You've got your car, and you've got your cell phone. But what other thing would you want to add into the car? How about a flashlight? Sounds good. What good are tools if you can't see what you're doing? How about some way to break out a windshield? Sounds good if you get stuck in a pond or in a wrecked car and can't get out. How about a directing wand where you can direct traffic or use as an emergency light? That sounds good too. How about your car just dies and you forgot to charge your cell phone? Would you like to charge your smartphone so you can make a phone call to the wrecker or to the police? Well, now you can have it all in one simple kit. Inside of this box, you'll find a replaceable end that goes on the bottom of the flashlight. You put this on there and put the cap on it, and if you pop the cap off, you can break out your side window or your windshield and escape your car. You'll find a diffuser lens that you can use to direct traffic or to use as an emergency light. You'll find an ultra bright flashlight that's rechargeable. It contains a lithium battery, an 18650 style, that's rated at 2,200 milliampere hours that will operate the battery at 220 lumens. In addition to that, you can actually plug in the back of this a cable and charge your smartphone. This comes with a charging cable that you can use to charge the flashlight battery that's inside while it's in your car, in your home, at the AC wall charger, or even at your computer. And it even comes with a lanyard that you can put on there so you can carry it while you're walking and not drop it. That's important if you got gloves on or if your hands are wet and it's raining. In addition, you've got a brief instruction manual. It's just an amazing tool to have in your car. It does a little bit of everything, and all of it's important when you need it the most in an emergency. It's a very powerful flashlight. It has a rechargeable battery that can be recharged roughly 500 times. It comes with a charging cable, and the charging cable is 1 meter long, or 39.37 inches. On the back of the flashlight here, you can see the USB port on the back. You'll also see an LED that's not lit. That's a charging LED. And you also see a small micro USB charging port. That's what this cable's for. You can plug this into that port, plug it into your car's USB charger, like I said, or a wall charger or your computer, and charge the internal battery. If you have an emergency, you can actually plug in your cable for your smartphone and output a current and charge your smartphone. We actually did a test in charging a iPhone 5S, and the battery worked pretty good. It output enough current to charge an iPhone 5S up to 86% of a charge. And that was the first time we've charged this battery. You're supposed to charge that battery 2 or 3 times, and it'll progressively get a little bit better. That's an average result at 61%. That's pretty good for a small battery. And if it gets better by 5 or 6%, that's really a good result. We were able to pull out 1,341.6 milliampere hours out of the 2,200 milliampere hour battery. That's a 61% efficiency, which is a good result. This flashlight has a removable back on it, and I like that the charger's built in. You don't have to have a special charging device because it's built into the tail. The battery is actually mounted inside of a battery compartment that's removable. I want you to note that the battery is marked with a plus on the end of it and a minus. It's important to note that because there is a polarity to these batteries. Some 18650 batteries do not have a button on the end of them, and they basically look the same. In this case, you have to look here for the plus sign, and you'll see the plus symbol here. And you can simply set it in like this and push it down and push it into place. I like that this battery is replaceable. Like I said, it's rechargeable up to 500 times. That should last you for many, many years. But if you have to replace it, you can buy any 18650 battery you like and put in there. I recommend that you get a good one. I've even taken that battery out and put in a protected battery. This happens to be one called an Orbtronic, which is, in my opinion, the top of the line batteries. It has a button on it because it has a protective circuit built into it, but that battery fit in there and worked perfectly. The flashlight worked and the device charged. This happens to be 3,400 milliamperes, so you could do a better charge on your phone, for example. So in the future, if you ever upgrade, you have some options. Get this put together. As I mentioned, notice the polarity. You slide the battery inside with the two prongs sticking up. You can see them there. And you install this back cap, and you'll see two rings here, one for the center prong and one for the outer one, and you screw it back together. You can see the back of the flashlight again. I'm going to plug in the charging cable, which is now plugged into a wall circuit, and you can see the LED come on as red. It's red when the battery is charging, and it's green when it's full. Look in here, you'll see some threads. That's where you put this window buster in, and you screw it into the back, and it holds it securely in place. This window buster is very, very sharp, and when you strike a window with it, it will fracture the window, and a couple of blows will knock the window out. It's ideal if you have an accident and you're trapped in a wrecked vehicle, or if you accidentally drive your car into a small pond and you have to escape. This could be a lifesaver. This cap on the end is for obvious reasons. It's tightly fit to fit over here, so if you leave the window breaker in place, it's ready to go. On the side you'll see two slots. That's to put the lanyard through. You can fish this smaller line through there and tie it, and that way you have a lanyard for your hand to carry the flashlight with. Inside of here you can see the LED. It's very bright. I'll show that in a dark room later on. But I also want to point out that it's a deep well light, and it gives a good throw for the light, but also a good bright hot spot, and it's visible for a long distance. Press this button completely down. The light comes on and locks into that mode. If you do a partial press, it'll skip to the next mode until you get to where you want to be. You can see in here the threads inside the flashlight head. These threads are for this diffuser that you also screw in there, and this makes it a wand or a light so you can direct traffic, or so you can take it and use it as an emergency light. The flashlight itself is made out of high quality aircraft aluminum, and it's professionally black anodized. This glass breaker is a high strength alloy steel that can withstand the force of breaking the glass. Here again is the light on a low setting. Here it's on a strobe mode. You can see it's quite bright. This would be a way to track help when you're on the interstate and your car is broken down. Here's the SOS mode. Here's the high beam, and this really gives you a lot of visibility. And rather than shine a light down at the ground, this would, if you're walking down the side of the road, this makes you easily seen by oncoming traffic. Here's the medium, and I'm back to the low setting. Here you can see what it looks like from about 35 feet away. You can see I have the lens diffuser off of the flashlight. This is the low setting, and I'm shining it at a wall that's 35 feet away in a totally dark room. That's low. There's the flash mode, and you can see how bright it is. It would be impossible for anybody to miss that. Here's the SOS mode. Here's the bright beam. That hot spot you see down there at the end is about 6 to 8 feet in diameter, but in reality, from side to side at 35 feet, it's a diameter of the flashlight beam of around 25 to 30 feet, so it's extremely bright. There's medium, and back to low. It's an excellent flashlight and a great security device. I rated it 5 stars. This review is done by jjceo. I'd like to tell you I received a sample for test and evaluation, and I didn't promise a review, but I promised if I gave one it would be fair and honest.